Johnny Organo, and you're listening to the Turnbuckle Tavern Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 17th episode of Shot of Nostalgia. I'm so sorry. Welcome to the All Elite wrap-up right here at the Turnbuckle Tavern. I'm good old Mike BELCASTER, goddammit, and follow me as my beautiful sidekick here, Tony Schiavone, the good old ace of the fucking goddamn tavern. Ace Field Retro. Ace, how's it going, brother?
What's going on, man? I got excited for a second. I thought we were doing Shot Nostalgia. I'm going to mix it up with the AEW wrap-up background. I'm just pumped to be here, man. Stephen Ace Field live from the No Cell Studios. I'm pumped to talk about AEW wrap-up. It's great to have you back, man. It's been a bit.
It's been a bit, man. I've been sick. I've been traveling. I've been all over the place. It's just Mike BELCASTER shit going down. But I'm so happy to be back here, and especially with you, man. I know Tom is all the way in West Virginia right now. He's hanging out with the two bad Chads. They're watching Dynamite Live. You seen him in the front row when Jericho came out and they was singing, and Tom was like, I love Jericho. It was good. It was fun stuff. I'm happy that they had such a good time, but more so, I'm happy that I'm got that WCW drip going on right now, but also I'm here with your beautiful self, and we are covering Dynamite tonight, man. It was a great fucking show.
Yeah, what I noticed about this episode was, for the first time in a bit, it was well paced, and it felt like it had a lot of flow through it. And I think that's been sort of a complaint the last few episodes, where it just felt like, what are we doing this for? The all out build has been non-existent, and then this show finally felt like we were actually building towards something bigger. And we'll get into the specifics of, they kind of pulled the plug on one of the biggest builds we thought they were actually getting to, but we'll see where they go with it.
Yeah, just a quick throw out. Boney wants to hop in with us. Are you cool with some Boney Con action 100%. Here tonight? Oh, hell yeah. Boney, you are welcome. I'm going to try to send you the link. I don't know if I my Instagram's hooked up to my computer right now, but Ace, maybe you could help me out here.
If I share it, I can invite. Hold on.
You can invite. We're good. We're having a good time. But yeah, you know what? I was talking to Chad the other night. This is a problem. And not a huge problem with AEW, but just a problem in general. We are going into these pay-per-views. They have so much months to build into it, especially because they do so little. But like 2 weeks into it, 3 weeks before the pay-per-view, that's when they really start to do the build. And I feel like it's a little hurting them. Would you buy a pay-per-view ticket if you knew nothing about the show? I mean, on aesthetic in general, it's just weird.
Yeah, I mean, we did already. So, full spoiler alert, we'll be in Chicago watching All Out. But I think a lot of different brands, like you go with WWE and their legacy, you can build on, say it's WrestleMania, and it's going to be WrestleMania no matter what. But All Out is still sort of in its infancy, and AEW is still at the beginning stages of its existence. So you need to really build that card. And I'm happy with the way they're going right now, but it shouldn't take until 2 weeks, 3 weeks out for us to get the gas going, because we've had plenty of time to build this up.
Yeah, no, it's weird. And like, I mean, they've done this for a few pay-per-views. I mean, even last year's All Out, we didn't really have a full card. Boney is here. What's up, Boney Omega? Battle Cry.
What's up, man?
Oh, yeah. What's up, guys?
What's up, brother?
Hey, I just wanted to hop in. I'm sorry, real quick. I know you're in the middle of the conversation, but I want to put a good episode of Dynamite. The Chads were involved. Not involved in the show, but we saw them the whole time.
Booked it.
And Tom, they booked the show, baby.
They booked it,
man. Continue on where you are, and then I'll jump in.
Yeah, no. So I'm just saying, even All Out last year kind of felt a little lackluster going into it. We didn't even know that Christian and Kenny Omega were going to headline the event until like a week or two ahead of time. It's just a weird build-up stage, and I think that they kind of got to hone in on that and make it a little bit more exciting to sell the tickets, to sell the fans, to kind of make people care about it, want to go to these shows. I will blindly buy tickets to any AEW event just because of the hype behind it, and I'm enjoying the time when I'm there. But I mean, would it hurt to build it a little maybe 3 to 4, 5 weeks ahead of time? I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, like, just make it happen, man. Like, give us a little taste, baby.
It feels like my cousin Tony Khan there. It feels like he's I don't know, maybe he's getting a little big headed, like thinking like All Out is just going to attract, which I mean it will, but I mean is he thinking, oh, it's All Out, of course people are going to come, and all I got to do is sell out the Hoffman Estates. Not throwing any shade there, but
whoa. This is like selling out Central Park. Okay, there's a lot going on here, but I totally. It's a small venue. It's an easy place to sell out, but
right.
You still need the hype behind it. You know what I mean? You can't
yeah.
just go. You can't be. We don't even know what Fan Fest is. We don't know what shit's going on right now.
We don't have a main event.
We don't have. We don't have. Yeah, I mean, fuck. The main event's next week, live on Dynamite. Montalto should be there. He's gonna miss it. He's so sad.
If you follow the model right now, there are big 4 pay-per-views. If you look at, and I know this is WWF antiquated model, where you go from the big shows, you had months to build up these big matches, and they should follow that model. It's not a surprise that September was going to be All Out. They should have had this in the ranks, and I know it got a little bit messed up with Punk getting injured, but the final exclamation point on this should be Punk versus Moxley. It's the right thing to do. And I know maybe it's WWE booking and they're going to go with the route where there's going to be some schmaz finish, but I know we'll get to it later and talk about what happened on Dynamite, but it certainly feels like we may get a triple threat. And I don't want that. I don't want that to be a triple threat.
No triple threat. I didn't like how Punk came out and called out Hangman. It was uncomfortable.
Right.
That was like my stepdad calling out my fucking old dad. It's like, whoa, hey, like we don't need this. Like we both can have good Christmases. Calm down. Yeah, it was just a little weird, and it's like I wasn't not against it. I have nothing negative to talk about this week's episode. I thought it was fun. It was great. Yeah, it was one of the better episodes of Dynamite in the last like 3 weeks. But at the same time, it's just like you guys are kind of walking us to the plank, but you're like, yeah, we don't know if there's an ocean to dive into, a plate of Jello. Like we're just trying to figure it out, and it's just like, come on, like give me a little bit more of a platform to fall onto for that pay-per-view. I don't want to spend $900 on tickets knowing that I don't fucking know what's going on in 2 weeks.
So we got FTR and Warlow going up against Lethal
Jay Dutt, and Sami Singh. It's a Rampage match.
or a Ring of Honor match. No offense, the Honor Society.
None taken. We got no TV deal, so
or Victory Pro Wrestling, whatever, you know.
Yeah, it's local yokel shit. But like, I mean, the Ace sent me last night the Art of War games for GCW. They have a card kind of built for that Saturday show. Where the fuck is the card for All Out, man?
I mean, right now we have 3 matches pretty much announced. We have Toni Storm versus Thunder Rosa. You have the Trios finals. You would assume it's Moxley versus Punk, but who knows anymore? And then Jungle Boy Christian. Everything else is sort of up in the air. And I know you mentioned the FTR 6-man tag, but is that really, I mean, is that something we're getting excited for?
No.
That's a pre-show match, man.
We do. We have Eddie Kingston and Sammy, too. But again,
I think we can assume we're going to get Jericho Danielson too. We're building towards that. Like I think we can assume we're getting that, but we shouldn't be assuming. It's at this point. Just tell us what the card is.
Right.
Are we getting Jericho versus Danielson?
I feel like it's coming. I mean, that's a logical conclusion I'm drawing from this Daniel Garcia stuff, right?
I would hope so. It would be a good match. I'm not gonna lie, but like, are we really gonna sit here and be like, "Oh, Jericho could win that"?
Either that or another trios match. Maybe Garcia joins the.
We don't need no more trio shit.
I know. I'm just. They let us in the books of trios.
Spamming trios at this point.
I'm trying to shake off the negativity over here. Ace, you ready to get in some news, brother?
Hell yeah, I got the news ready for you guys.
All right, hold on. TK, hit us up, brother.
Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go. Let's do it. Let's get into
all right.
Some news.
So we do have the news here, and we try not to mention WWE too much here, but it feels like we're intertwined every which way now. So a notable AEW wrestler claims they were contacted by WWE. So according to Fightful, An unnamed talent informed AEW management of the situation because they felt the company's higher-ups deserved to know. They also informed AEW that they have no interest in leaving until WWE they are happy where they are. The report continues to say the claim was a member of WWE's talent relations department that made contact with them. So they're talking about the different people being brought back. It is someone being used frequently on TV, which there's not many people being used frequently on TV at this point. Any guesses on who this is? And is this sort of a little feather in the cap of Tony Khan with maybe he should feel good about himself that WWE's trying to poach their talent now?
I'll give if they fire John Laurinaitis, I don't know who's poaching or who's trying to. Hey, CM Punk, do you want to come over and work a couple house shows over here at WWE? But I don't know who it is. I don't necessarily care who it is. They can poach all they want. I think poaching is good at this point. There's so much going on in the AEW world. There's so much going on in the WWE world. Have at it. Go fucking be Pawpaw. Go do what you guys got to do. have a good time. I honestly, I don't know who the fuck either team wants anymore. It's just it's mind-boggling.
Yeah, much back and forth. WCW and WWF changing and shot nostalgia. You got Brian Pillman playing for both teams 3 times in the year, so it is good for wrestling when you have people showing up all over the place.
Absolutely.
But what do you think about it, Boney? Who do you think it might be?
Last night, Marco, because we talked about this last night on the Raw Down, and Marco kind of mentioned the little name Keith Lee. I thought that was kind of interesting. I don't know if oh
my god! Dude, your Instagram reel it's so loud it scared everyone in my house. The dog,
my wife is still recovering right now. She went into hiding. She's like, I'm done.
I missed it. I need to go check this out.
It's so loud. He's screaming. But you know what? I respect the game, Nick Storm.
Thank you. Hey, look, no one's home. I don't have any Mother Nature to yell at me, so I'm chilling. I'm fine.
All right, Boney, what were you saying before Nick came in here?
Yeah, Marco floated the idea of Keith Lee, and I think he could be onto something there. Considering Triple H is in power, it's got to be it's got to be a Triple H guy, quote unquote. My opinion. And of course you got Andrade. Andrade is a Triple H guy, so to speak.
That'll put butts in seats.
Please, Tony, please put that whenever they make Andrade a world champion over there.
Yeah, Jesus.
And a lot, I've heard Miro as well. I can't talk. Miro as well, kind of being floated around, but I don't see Miro. I mean, I think he's pretty cool. He's in good storylines. He carried the TNT title for a while. Probably the most memorable reign.
Yeah,
as TNT champion. Besides, of course, Brody and Cody. But I think it's got to be Andrade or maybe Keith Lee. So,
yeah, I don't know. It's a hard call because there's so many people there. But is Keith Lee going to be a needle mover? Is Andrade going to be a needle mover? I don't think there's enough there. You have to go after the FTRs. You have to go over You have to go after the Bucks, the Kenny Omegas. It's there's not enough. Are we talking
about the talent poaching kind of thing?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Gotcha. Like who are you going to poach? That's going to make an impact. That's going to make something where people lose their fucking shit.
Oh, poaching? You mean the thing that's illegal? Oh, you mean the thing that's
depends on where you live. Like. I think it's kind of legal by you.
No, but I mean, I think to be honest with you, and this might seem harsh, but it's true in my opinion. Keith Lee and Andrade are 2 examples of why they should have been cut. To be honest with you, I mean, I don't think, they came over here and what does Keith Lee do? I know he's tag champs, but I mean, like, green jacket, gold jacket, who gives a shit? He's done nothing to move the needle. Neither has Andrade.
My biggest takeaway from Keith Lee is like he's a good talent, fucking awesome to watch, but he's not doing much for the business.
Right. He's done nothing.
there's a thing. It's like you're signing people to do something for you, or you're just signing people to sign people. Keith Lee feels like somebody that they just signed for. And I love Keith Lee. I think he's a great talent, awesome fucking dude, really athletic, really good at what he does. But I don't get it, man. I
feel like he lost his confidence. That's what I feel like.
The COVID thing really knocked him out, and I understand like he was not healthy. He was fighting for his life, but when he came in, I thought that he might have been. This was the chance for him to actually become the guy that WWE had at their fingertips. Like when they went face to face with Lesnar in that Rumble, you felt like you had a huge star in your hands, and they dropped the ball. They tried to make him the Bearcat, and we all know the story. But going back to the poaching the talent, I think the mold now on both sides are the same. I think Triple H, his ideal wrestler, is similar to what Tony Khan's is, and that's overnight has shifted because now he's looking for the same things. The Adam Coles, the Malachi Blacks, the Miros, all those guys are now fair game for Triple H, and they will be pushed as main eventers. And I think it opens the floodgates for everybody. And I know Tony right now is sitting here like, you know what? Guys are under contract till 2026, 2027. So good luck trying.
Which is crazy.
But he's going to be, he's going to be able to, I guess, have all the leverage now to say, this will be a huge test for him because we know Vince and all those guys, they let people sit out and say, die on the bench. We don't care. We don't care if you're going to just rot there. You're going to sit out your contract. We'll see if Tony Khan is more of a labor intensive worker first mindset where he says, if you want to leave, go ahead and leave. So he might be pressured with that situation sooner than later.
Yeah. I'm not worried about it. I'm concerned that neither team really knows what the fuck they're doing at this point.
Right.
And like,
that's an excellent point, actually.
Well, like Triple H is like, oh, let's bring up Ciampa. Ciampa's gonna do everything, baby. And like Tony Khan's
that's a great point. They're playing chess with themselves is honestly what they're doing.
Well, it's more them against themselves than it is against each other because it's like I think they're gonna kind of fuck themselves both wise. And like, do we care about Elias and his whole family being on TV, or do we care about like really good shit?
I think they're moving away from that. I think they're trying to kill that gimmick off. And I think Triple H is trying to check boxes and just like tie bows on it. But now we got the killer Kevin Owens back. I just think at this point, it's good for wrestling fans, no matter what screen they show up on. I think at this point, we can all agree wrestling can be consumed in different ways. You can watch both. There's no reason that you only can watch one. And I'm not rooting for either side. I love both at this point.
I think we're going to get more of an, it's not going to be like the Attitude Era where they're pushing everybody to do stuff. I think it's going to be the Attitude Era where they're kind of finding their fails. You know what I mean? So like Triple H might be on the something with certain things. Tony Khan might be on the certain things with certain things, but like they really got to get a solid platform for them to stand on before they can start growing. Both teams. I mean, you can't run fucking the tribal chief thing all day long. You can't run the Bucks and Omega forever. It's gonna die out sooner or later. We need a big.
You're good for me. I would enjoy Bucks forever. Okay, I may be the only one.
Pumped. But I mean, Omega felt off a step tonight, not just because they were working this fact that he was injured and he was like, "Oh, my knee hurts." It wasn't that. It was just like,
well.
It was lackluster. It could have been handled so much bigger.
Well, just hold the thought on Kenny because we will get there in a second.
We will. Yes, let's please.
So we have AEW wrestlers expected to take part in Wrestle Kingdom 17. So right now there's tentative plans for AEW talent to appear live at the Tokyo Dome, and wrestlers from AEW are expected to take part at Wrestle Kingdom this year. The only thing that's weird is that Wrestle Kingdom, the first night, January 4th, 2023, is a Wednesday. So that means that it's either they're going to tape in advance, or they're going to be missing huge stars. And Mike, you and I have been seeing Shot Nostalgia. We have episodes of Nitro where you're missing Ric Flair, Randy Savage, the Giant, who's the world champion. So it's definitely possible. And the quote from Dave Meltzer, our good friend, and I know, Boney, you love Dave Meltzer. I have no idea that they're going to take 2 weeks ahead. I'm going to guess they won't. I think they're going to go live, but there are plans for certain AEW guys to be at the Tokyo Dome. Yes. I think this is huge. I mean, this is a huge next step for Forbidden Door to keep this relationship going. You have Forbidden Door was one thing, but now that you're sending guys over to Tokyo and wrestling in New Japan Pro Wrestling, it's time to give back a little bit. And I think it should be main talent. It can't just be Dante Martin and Jay Lethal. It needs to be Bryan Danielson. It needs to be
Yeah.
FTR. It needs to be those guys.
You hit on the money with WCW kind of that feeling, right? And it's true. Like, I mean, Flair, Scott Hall, like all these dudes were over there for fucking Japan. You big names. It's like sending
4 weeks
Danielson,
at a clip. Sometimes they'd be like just there.
It's sending Danielson, Omega, the Bucks, and relying on your backseat talent, which I felt was really good for WCW, and I hope it does the same for AEW.
Yeah, one thing to keep in mind is WWE will be coming off of the pay-per-view. They'll be coming off of day one. So they'll have some momentum, a little bit. Not that we're looking at it, and not that we're trying to necessarily compete, but that's a point that I really want AEW to focus on. Focus on yourselves, but that doesn't seem like that's what they're doing. But however, I think this is better long term. Yeah, go send your Danielson, send whatever, and it's only going to help get these, like you mentioned, the Dantes, the Brian Pillman Juniors, whoever else, Acclaimed, get them over a little bit more, So it's 1 week television, It's not
anything to ease that tension of this bloated roster, where you can just all right, 5-6 guys go over to Japan and go work there. Now this week, Keith Lee can maybe be in a goddamn main event. Malachi Black, I know he's battling injury, but he can be on TV on a weekly basis. What about Pac with the All Atlantic Champions? It's the first time we saw him on TV since
it's crazy.
Title.
It's crazy. Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I know the All Atlantic title was a controversial point for us, but
it's been a non-issue. It hasn't existed.
Absolutely, goddamn.
And that was my whole issue with this. Like, they don't know how to book titles.
Oh, I don't necessarily think it's about titles. I think they're just kind of they're moving
so much
a little
on the plate right now.
It's too. You're driving 90 down an 85,
right?
Like you gotta slow down 5 miles.
He needs somebody to take the wheel. Like, hey, I'm getting tired, a little tired. Somebody take the wheel. You got Jerry fucking Lynn, Dean Malenko back there.
I know somebody who just got fired that can help him out.
I heard you guys like camera cuts. Kevin Dunn, baby.
Hey, boss, your glasses. Your glasses are looking really clean. Can I clean them for you?
What up, Jace? Jocko,
right.
sorry.
So next here we have Takeshita had said he's not interested in WWE and he's hoping to return to AEW soon. So Takeshita has become an overnight sensation over the course of 4 months. He's been into this huge star. He was a relative unknown when he first made his appearance on AEW television. WWE noted in a lot of different reports they're looking for a transcendent Japanese star or a big Japanese guy, and Takeshita certainly could fit that bill. But he reneged on some of those reports and said, absolutely not. I'm not interested in going to WWE. I love the freedom of working with AEW, potentially working back with TDT, going to New Japan Pro Wrestling, potentially going to AAA. He likes the freedom and flexibility of going back and forth. And maybe Triple H eventually opens that door. But, man, I think Takeshita shutting down WWE is a big step. I mean, you know what? Pat ourselves on the back. We booked him correctly, for at least for Tony.
I like Takeshita. I think he's great. I think it's a good change of pace for the company. I don't know, man. I think he's doing good by sticking in his own lanes, doing his own thing. Nick Storm, you've been quiet,
right, there,
man.
brother.
Yeah, fucking hit up Takeshi. Take a shit on Katashi.
Well, I love Takeshita, dude. I think he became easily one of the people that I was just excited to see week to week. And even though, if a match card was announced, if I saw Takeshita versus someone, I was just gonna be very excited for that show. But I feel like I don't know, Takeshita, man, he just gravitated with the crowd at AEW. Like, there were people chanting, his name against Hangman Adam Page at the time, which was their champion. Yeah. People say it might be a lackluster reign that Hangman did, but on paper, that is insane. That's a fucking crazy stat to have. So, dude, I hope he comes back to AEW very, very soon, because I cannot wait to see him. I might even seek him out, in DDT or something like that as well.
Yeah.
It certainly seems like he's going to be making dates. Like, he's going to be around. It's not like he's going anywhere, but it's funny because last time he left, he was like, "Oh, thank you for the time in North America. I'm really happy that I had time here." He appeared next week on Dynamite. So it's like, who knows? He may just come back. Mm-hmm. Money talks, you know what I mean? Like, get that visa good to go, and fly him on a plane.
Yeah.
And he's a baby. Like he's not in his 30s, he's not in his 40s, he's fucking in his 20s. He's a young Jet. I think he's in his 20s. Don't quote me.
Yeah, he's 26 years old. Yeah,
see, there you go. He's fucking.
Oh, wow.
He's a young Nick Storm in a plethora of podcasts. but I mean,
you don't see me doing flying front flip clotheslines, but I'll take
I mean, he
it.
could. I would believe it more if I was doing it. You know. But I mean, this guy's talented. He's young. He's on the spectrum of what wrestling needs and wants right now. I think he's good for business, no matter what. Tony Khan is a smart dude just to book shit like that, because there's so many people out there. There's so much talent out there that you can't even. That's the problem. I think that's what Tony's problem is. He's like, oh, this guy, Ari Daivari is fucking talented. I'm gonna fucking hire him. I'm gonna hire fucking what's the guy's name? Braddock, Smartax, Parker Madu, Moondog Maddox,
Parker Fondant or whatever the fuck.
Peter, give me those pictures of Peter Parker, damn it. But like Tony's just like, he's gun ho on good talent. I get the reasoning behind it, but like some shit could wait a little bit.
Give us 3 more hours of television, I guess, and that would work. But at this point, you have 2 hours of live TV, 1 hour of taped. It's impossible to get these guys on television, and eventually you can't keep the momentum. Look at Ricky Starks. Look at Wardlow. You couldn't keep the momentum going. Ricky Starks, as hot as he was, boiling, you took him off the burner, and now he's sitting stagnant. He wasn't even on Dynamite tonight.
Yeah, I mean the rating wizard.
11. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this motherfucker real quick, okay? The ratings.
We need more security guards. Boney, you should be a security guard.
Get in here.
So he allowed him to use my YouTube TV because he's out there in bumfuck Memphis and won't get a way to watch Dynamite, and he took over by coming down the aisle count. So guess what, motherfucker? No more YouTube TV because I just kicked your ass out of here.
Listen, man,
evicted, bro.
We got varsity blondes
evicted you, Hulk. I'm sorry.
All right, let's get through some more of the news. Thunder Rosa commented on her AEW women's title reign, and her quote was, "It's been really challenging, but not for the reason that you think it was. I think we've all been very critical. The Chads, most notably, top of the ramp type of booking." So she said, "It's been really challenging. Being a champion on a major platform is different than when I was NWA Women's World Champion. There's a lot more at stake and a lot more you've been representing, and a little bit of pressure. Every time you stand in front of a camera, you want to make sure you're perfect. The thing is, it's not all about perfection. It's about making a difference. And I hope I've been making a difference in the women's division." Yeah, you sure have, Thunder Rosa. The women's division has been absolutely awful. And I don't think it's Thunder's fault. I think the booking has been horrendous.
It's terrible. It's they make her look like a complete idiot out there.
I don't know if that's all about her or all about that.
A
lot of it falls on her.
Take the ball on that, Belcast. I want to hear what you say about Thunder Rosa.
Yeah, no, listen, I love Thunder Rosa. I think she's great, but I just don't think she's carry the company material. I think you got better people out there. As the great ratings wizard 11 would say, man. I think she's fantastic.
He just said it right here. There's
exactly. No, it's a women's division because they're over 18. Hawk. I mean, calm down. Yeah. But I'm just saying. I think Britt was your fucking breadwinner, right? Toni Storm, kind of a breadwinner. I'm not saying she's the perfect person to throw a title on.
How do you not have Athena?
No,
I totally forgot about her until they did the commercial for Rampage.
Who? No. I mean, Jade is fucking a presence, man. Jade is just everything you would expect out of a top tier talent, man or woman.
Maybe she's who WWE contacted. I feel like she'd be WWE is chomping at the bit to get someone like her.
Hey, Belle, you want to be a referee?
Can you imagine? She has the presence for WrestleMania. I could just see her like coming out at WrestleMania. She has the presence. She is everything that WWE wants. The presentation, all of that.
Goddamn Hawk.
What?
Yes. No. I wholeheartedly agree with you. I think there's. But I'm saying Thunder Rosa is not
with the rating Wizards 11.
Yeah, exactly.
There goes the ratings.
By the way, we're sponsored by Blue Chew.
Oh my God.
You're gonna go down
and
ratings,
play
the
school.
rating wizard. Yeah, you're gonna go down from 11 to 50 now. You just lost a wizard ranking. So
That's too high up for his numbers. But no, I really think that Thunder Rose is just not the it girl. I think that there's so much more out there, especially they have so many people. Anna Jay, you gotta rely on the talent that you brought in originally. Thunder Rose was originally an NWA person. There's so many people you can work off of. So many. I mean, you fucking you got a handful of people that you could be like, okay, I picked them. But it's just like, oh, we're gonna give it to Thunder Rose. Thunder Rose has had way too long of a reign. You want to talk about titles flip-flopping? This should be a title that should be flip-flopping right now. I think it would only do fucking wonders for the division.
Yeah, I mean, Thunder's just
title.
been
bringing more titles. We need a tag.
Oh my God!
We need a women's interim championship. We need a women's tag trios tag champion.
Women's intercontinental champion. Women's hardcore championship.
Continental champion, country champion, state champion,
Australian champion.
Right here.
Champion of Australia.
I know Hawk's crazy, but
all these prizes.
All right, let's move on to the next part of the news here. Chris Jericho says Tony Khan nixed the idea of a remix version of Judas' song for his entrance. So Chris Jericho went as far as recording a new song, a new version, a slowed down version of Judas to get people to stop from singing along. And he gave credit to Tony Khan for nixing that idea because he thinks it's still a great idea to separate the character and also the fan experience. He thinks and this might be just Jericho stroking his own ego, giving himself the 1-2 on the back, that Judas is a part of Dynamite, part of the fabric, and coming to Dynamite and not being able to sing along with Judas. And this is probably his thoughts, not mine. If you don't get to do that, you're missing out. So I kind of want a different version of the theme song.
I'd love to hear that different version, man.
Just because, in my opinion, it doesn't fit in alignment with the character. And I guess you could say like he wants people to sing along with him because he's an egomaniac and he's a heel. But I mean, just bring back Judas when he's a face again. It will happen again. It'll make people appreciate it more when it's here.
Yeah. If you're gonna do that, I agree. If you're gonna do that, just go with contact WWE's composer. They'll give you generic wrestler theme music, and then just roll with that. You know, see, you're a sports entertainer,
the WWE
right?
2K creation music, like the
exactly.
Listen, you guys are all wrong. Jericho is beautiful on the inside. He's innocence personified.
Oh boy,
he's gonna drag you down and probably sell you out. There you go. He's becoming, and man, is he coming?
Oh, he's coming. He's coming.
I thought. Listen, I thought tonight's angle with Garcia was probably one of the best pieces of Jericho we've seen kind of happen. I like the jealous, like, hey, fuck you, pal. And Garcia's like, no, fuck off. Like this is Bryan Danielson. He's a legend.
And that's saying
who the fuck are you?
This is the good Jericho thing in the past, whatever, because it could have been anyone in that place, but it was Jericho. You know, it was Daniel Garcia's kind of shining moment in that. I think, so.
It wasn't Daddy Magic. I don't want to taste. Of course I want to taste,
sweetheart.
The Bryan Danielson. Love the taste. A little bit of taste.
All right, so speaking of taste, Bobby Fish wants to taste of the main event. He discusses how he's being presented in AEW, and he thinks he should be presented in a certain way, and bookers have to know the value that their talent brings. So he appeared on KNS WrestleFest, which is a virtual signing that he did along with Fish, O'Reilly, Fish, and Cole all did it together. And he said, I'll just speak for myself and not speak for Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole. I should be utilized in a certain way, and if my employer doesn't see that, that's bad on them. Know the value of your talent, not just being good at booking wrestling. And he continued on, not really ripping on the booking, but more so saying he believes he could be a main event guy. And I love the way Bobby Fish has been booked, more so than I thought any of these other Undisputed Era guys were. He was my least favorite coming in, but now leaving this, I kind of like him better than O'Reilly and Cole as far as how AEW goes, because he fits the aesthetic and like he feels the most authentic with how he's being booked. So I don't think he's being booked as a main guy. I don't think I want to see that, but I like kind of the role he's in right now.
I think he's kind of. I watched what you're talking about. I think he was kind of working a little bit. You know, just like
It's very, very possible for sure.
you know, pulling on it. I mean, is there some true feelings there? Probably, but yeah, I don't know. Like mainly because you could see Adam Cole's reaction, and usually Adam Cole when he does these things, like he's like not working. He's he's like the Adam Cole real stuff, but even Adam Cole was like going along with it kind of. So I don't know. It just I got hints of working.
I want to play some Fall Guys on Twitch. My name's Chucks. I'm telling you, and I've said this a million times over since they got all signed. Bobby Fish is the most talented person of the Undisputed Era. And it just, I mean, with shitty booking or not shitty booking, I see him come out there. He works like $1 million. He looks like $1 million. He's the only one that's kind of not been like wishy-washy on his spot. I would love to see Bobby Fish fucking slapped the rocket ship into his back and pushed into a
what about a
level.
TNT title push? Like, I'm not saying take the title from Wardlow, but that'd be a nice feud for him there.
I don't want him a trios champion.
Yeah, I mean, I
give him the fucking TNT title.
Even character work for Bobby Fish, I prefer over anyone else in the Undisputed Elite. You know what I mean? I just think
All Atlantic Championship, like, Bobby Fish.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, dude, I thought he was British the first time I saw him. You see that fucking mustache?
He does.
Wait, you know,
is
that could work
British?
for me. He could be all Atlantic.
Fuck.
Yeah, right.
I think we need to bring Riddle back out or bring Riddle in and just have him do the how many fish can Bobby Fish catch if Bobby Fish could catch fish. Whatever he did.
If Riddle gets signed with AEW, he's going to be the Riddler. And I don't know how I feel about that.
Oh, my God. So kind of to end this little quote here, and the last thing I want to hear what he said, and I agree with you, Boney, there's a little bit of working in it. So he said, I know I'm fucking good. I'm not going to mince words. I know I'm good. So if you're the person paying me and booking me, use me properly. So the fact that he said booking, I know that's like working today is mentioning wrestling is a work. So, you know, you can be also playing a character like MJF. Like MJF, when he cuts that promo, he definitely is working in a sense, but you're also pulling the curtain back. So it's definitely a layered fourth wall situation that wrestling, and it makes Jim Cornette's head explode. But
damn it. No.
I don't know. There's something to be said about this. And I know there's got to be a lot of frustration in the back. And this is another guy coming out and saying that maybe he's not being booked correctly. We got Andrade liking tweets. We got Miro liking tweets. I know there's probably ghost tweets out there as well, like with burner accounts like Kevin Durant had back in the day, talking shit or not talking shit about their booker. So there's some unrest in the AEW locker room. It was this utopian society for a bit, but I think some of the talent is getting a little frustrated with sitting on the sidelines.
There's a lot going on, man. There's no doubt about it. Far enough to tell you that Max Tyler came up on my people you should shout on.
Mine did too.
On Facebook.
It's so crazy. I've been having that a lot recently.
I don't know where he went, but like I'm just saying, no, I in all honesty, I think there's so much going on, and Tony Khan kind of was like gun, and now it's kind of like, oh, we have to chill a little bit, but like Ring of Honor is not really taking off yet. There's so much waiting to happen here that I would love to see half the roster go to Ring of Honor and do their thing there, and then we get the AEW roster. Forbidden Door could be a good place for New Japan, Ring of Honor, all these people to fucking come together and fight each other. I don't think Bobby Fish is wrong. I think Bobby Fish is right. Regardless if he's working or not, he is a goddamn good talent, and he should be booked better. Yeah.
If Bobby Fish is wrong, I don't want to be right.
I kind of can think of a situation, and I know this would be progressive thinking for WWE and with Triple H, anything's possible at this point, but similar to like how soccer works with the European leagues and the different leagues in other countries where you put some wrestlers on loan. And like, this is a good way to relieve it. How amazing would it be if like WWE wanted to give off like Dolph Ziggler for a bit and put him on loan to AEW, and same thing with AEW. You want to borrow Keith Lee for a couple months? Here you go. So I know that's sort of a weird way of thinking, but that would be amazing. Like that, similar to soccer. If you guys are unfamiliar with it, go check out, you know, how they do in soccer. You have guys leaving for two years playing a season in a whole different country.
Go watch Ted Lasso on Apple TV.
Yeah, there you go. That will explain the whole thing. How to explain it in American.
Sonny Hogan knows better.
Whoa, Sheik Hogan.
All right. So the last thing on the news,
not wrong. Yeah.
Before I get to the updated cards for Rampage, Dynamite, and All Out, this is just your boy Billy Corgan was in the news. Tony Khan and Billy Corgan talked about the AEW NWA relationship. So, well, the two companies have not done business since last year. A new report on Fightful came out, said that there is a working relationship still with them. Tony Khan made it known last year how he paid for the AEW wrestlers that ended up working in an all-women's NWA Empower pay-per-view after the NWA did not cover the cost. NWA President Billy Corgan recently spoke with Fightful and noted that the pay-per-view didn't emerge as commercially successful as he had hoped, and he didn't want to grovel. So then he also asked about the relationship working-wise, sending talent from NWA to AEW and vice versa. He said, I think Tony's done a tremendous job. Tony's made it easier for me to operate in wrestling. When I go into business meetings, into networks to talk with them, they look at AEW success as an indication that the market is shifting, that WWE doesn't control the market like they did for 20 years. So I can only thank Tony for making it easier for me. Word is that Corgan and Khan are both on good terms, and neither man seems to have taken issue with what the other has said. So here we are, NWA and AEW still in good graces. So I like to see them continue working together.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, despite all of his rage, he's still going to be a rat in a cage.
Smashing pumpkins, baby.
I got nothing but love for Billy Corgan. I know he knows wrestling. I know he's a very smart individual. He'll guide NWA into the right spot. I promise you that. And even if like working with AEW, working with whoever, I know he's got a lot of heart, a lot of passion towards it. I worked with the guy for fucking years.
He's your former boss, pal.
It is my former boss, pal. And I know from sitting with him and hanging out with him that he does know wrestling. So, yeah, kudos. I hope it works out the best for all companies. Honestly, I really want to see more. I like crossplay.
I love NWA.
Yeah, NWA is great. Great presentation. Great fucking, obviously, nostalgia. Great fucking history. You build upon that. I mean, there's a little bit of wonky shit going on with every company right now, including WWE, AEW,
all of them,
NWA.
everybody.
But it's everybody. So nobody's going to do it right. But I think Billy's got a good heart set. He wants it to be successful. He wants to be Harley Race style NWA, Ric Flair NWA. He's got a good mindset, man.
Do you guys see that there's an actual legit issue, though, buried underneath this, that Tony Khan came out publicly and sort of didn't shame Billy Corgan for having to fund something for him, but he uses the quote. He said, oh, yeah, Billy should thank him for the car that he's driving because I paid for the tires. Like, that's the quote that he used. And I think they kind of got into a room together and just buried the hatchet because you kind of have to just hash it out and figure it out. I think Tony was sort of wrong on this. It's like, you're doing someone a favor. You don't have to put them on blast in public. Like, you did it out of the goodness of your heart, or do you want a pat on the back from somebody else? It's like, it almost takes away the good that you did by asking for just telling people about it, because it makes the other person feel like shit.
Well, it gives it's a little bit of that. He's starting to get a little bit that Vince narcissism there.
Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah, that's not like I didn't really realize that. That's not good, pal.
No, you know what? There wouldn't have been an all-in without Billy Corgan. That NWA match would not have happened. That was his baby. Right. He owned that shit. I was in the midst of conversations when he was purchasing it, as he was getting let go of Impact Wrestling.
By the way, I remember when somebody, I forgot, I think it was Masked Man podcast, whenever it was announced that he bought it, like what the hell is he going to do with this? I finally remember
work.
yeah, he created a fucking promotion, and that's what he did.
No, but listen, when we were doing Resistance Pro here in Chicago, he was trying to make that as reputable and as important as what an NWA would be. And I remember the second the Cody Nick Aldis match was signed, I was like, this is what it should be all about, because it's history. It's historic. Fucking Cody Rhodes holding the NWA title like his daddy did, like the big man Dustin Rhodes did. But it's all good. It's all good, baby. Billy Corgan knows what he's doing.
That's a good point, because imagine Billy Corgan's coming out like AEW wouldn't exist if All In was successful without me. So like,
it's true.
It's like, I mean, but he could come out and say that, and he's not. It just shows it like, all right, listen, you're helping somebody out. Of course, NWA is going to need some help. They're not going to be bringing in huge network money deal. They're doing shows on Fight TV and YouTube. We understand what they are, and they're leaning into it, and it's great. But you can't sit here and ask for a thanks from Tony Khan when Billy Corgan said it privately. Like, you don't need to do it in public.
No,
Yeah,
you don't no slander
That's silly.
involved. We
That's
don't need
silly.
that shit. Yeah.
All right. To
Be
put the
good.
bow on the news, we have the updated cards for the next couple days. AEW Rampage on the 19th of August. We have the World Trios Championship Tournament. Best Friends versus the Trustbusters. Athena versus Penelope Ford. We have Claudio Castagnoli is going to be speaking. And then we have the FTW Championship on the line. Hook versus a relative unknown, Zach Clayton.
Claudio
So
should
that's
not be
Rampage.
speaking
Actually,
anywhere.
you know who Zach Clayton is? You know who he's married to, huh?
Who's that?
JWoww, baby.
Oh yes, God, I don't want to talk about it. I seen him come out for the Hook Open challenge. I was like, this is garbage.
I was gonna say.
Oh, we also have a main
just
event
recently-
too. Sorry.
Yeah.
What? Those exist.
Zach Clayton isn't in the main event.
It's the World Tag Team Championship, Swerve in Our Glory versus Private Party. And I know there's jokes in the group chat. Private Party are still employed. Haven't seen them in a while.
Said that they're the official Rampage commercial guys. Why can't they claim go for the titles? Why can we not get good fucking tag team matches when
We don't even have a goddamn tag team match for All Out.
I mean, wait,
It's
the
ridiculous.
Private Party was even joking about it. They're like, we're fifth on the fuck the lineup today.
There's a
Fuck
six-man
that,
Kansas
man.
tag team match.
Oh,
But
hate it.
dude,
Give
I
me
was
the
just gonna
acclaim.
say, I only just recently watched Trustbusters, so I'm really surprised I actually got Bill Murray to come in and Trustbuster or whatever. I ain't afraid.
Are you making a
Trust,
Ghostbusters joke right now?
Yeah, did it not pick up? God damn it, dude!
How
I was
American
like,
of you,
in my
Nick
head.
Storm.
Oh,
I ain't afraid of no trust. That's what they should come out.
Nick, there's something strange in your neighborhood.
You're gonna call?
Oh my
Man.
god.
Yeah, listen, it's just like fuck Private Party. Are we done with Private Party yet? Seriously, they are the Disco Inferno of AEW right now.
Yes, literally.
I bought their shot glass like 2 years ago. I don't know what they're doing on TV still.
Disco Inferno and Alex Wright.
Oh, don't do Alex right like that. Okay.
All right, so for Dynamite next week, we have a big card. Surprisingly, we have the AEW World Trios Championship Tournament, Death Triangle versus United Empire, Dax Harwood versus Jay Lethal, and in the main event, AEW Undisputed World Championship. We thought we'd get it at All Out. We're getting it here next week from Cleveland, Ohio. CM Punk versus Jon Moxley. Do we think we're getting this match or no?
Yes. I didn't think it was going to happen, but it's happening. I think it's going to be smooth. I think it's going to be good.
I'm
Punk's obviously going to
skeptical.
win. They have something in. You're not going to go into All Out in Chicago without Punk being the champion. That's
I
their
think-
goal.
I think we see MJF return next week.
Ooh,
Wow.
fair enough.
That will make me feel better about this, J-Bone.
That's the only thing that can really get me like pointing to this what they're doing right now, because like I mentioned in the group chat, I was like confused. I was like sitting there watching. I was like, what is happening here? But I was just
I
kind of
was
sitting
just
there
like-
thinking, let it soak in. I was like, it's got to be MJF.
I was thinking
sorry.
because like I don't know how you can't have Mox and Punk at a pay-per-view main eventing, right? How can you build story with someone
I don't
else
know.
and move on with Punk on the card after this Mox interim match and build a story in that like 2-3 weeks or whatever it is, however far away we are from the pay-per-view? Like that's freaking me out.
My answer: Hangman Punk 2.
Yeah, maybe so.
But they're going to
That's
build
it.
it off of what? They're going to build it off the first
Yeah.
match, and then
Yeah, that's it. That's all they need to do.
Yeah, but technically
Yes.
they've been building to this match all summer. You know, with Moxley as the champion, you know, they kept referencing it. He's the interim champion. So in the back of your mind, you're like, okay, wait, so that's right. He's not technically the real champion. You still got CM Punk waiting on there. And they even mentioned it tonight, right? Like
Yeah.
whenever Moxley was like, you know, I'm tired of being called the interim champion. I want to be the, I want to be the guy. But like they've been building it to it, really, under the radar all summer long.
right.
It doesn't make sense that this is not the main event unless they're pulling out the big guns. So
Hangman is still number one on the.
it's not. He's not the big gun.
No, I know, but I'm saying it's in Chicago.
You
The
might be
crowd
right.
you need. Hangman's still the guy. people
Unless
wanna see
something
it.
weird happens and Moxley couldn't make the event, he told Tony, like, listen, you got to do something call an audible, and we'll find out down the line.
I'm going to GCW.
Yeah, exactly. I'm working War Games.
I
I'm
got
gonna
the War
blast him like
Games,
that.
kid. I'm not gonna be there. I gotta fight FE.
But who knows? Like, that's the
fucking
only other
piss him in
reason
the
I can
mouth.
think of that something like this would happen, unless you're going to add Hangman to the triple threat, which is also not what I want.
No, you know what? Man, AEW hasn't done a triple threat yet, though, for the title.
Add Kenny to it.
Yes, they have.
Forward.
They have.
They did with Orange
for-
and Kenny and Pac, yeah.
Oh, that's terrible. No, that we forget about that. That was
It was a good match.
it was a good match, but no, we forget about that. We want
But yeah,
we
don't
need
want to
top
win.
stars. God damn it!
All right, that's the news, by the way. I'm going to put the little blanket there if you want to. We'll segue into the next segment, Mike.
I like it. I don't even know what drops we have anymore, so we're just gonna go.
No, we're gonna do a drop. Hold on, I'll find one.
We'll find one. We got one. We're
Redeem
gonna
these nuts.
go.
I suggest that one.
Redeem these nuts.
This goes. But yeah, you know what? I figured we'd fuck around and change things up a little bit. We're not picking top threes. We're not picking best stuff. Let's just kind of go into the really big stuff, and we could start with the CM Punk Mox kind of situation, and also Tom being in the front row marking out the whole time.
God,
Oh my
this is-
goodness! Did you just see that Chris Jericho came? Oh, I took my shirt off. It was great. It was fantastic, and I got tutas with JR. It was so good.
You think Jim Ross has a restraining order yet on him, or what?
Oh my God! If Tony Storm ain't got it, it's just definitely Jim Ross. Hands off my biscuits, kid.
We're gonna hear him on Jim Ross's podcast, The Grilling with JR. He's like, I'm just trying to get my fucking biscuit, and this fucking guy walks up to me. I'm just trying to eat my goddamn biscuit. And I'm like,
He said he's the OG kid. I don't understand what the fuck that means, but I was just trying to get some biscuits and some breakfast, man. But I ate, so I was in a good mood. So I took a picture.
Man, do you think
He
just
looked
went
like
up
my
and said,
nephew. I was
He
like,
went up
like,
and said, hey, JR, I am the OG fit kid. Can I please get a photo? It's the first thing
I haven't had my biscuits yet, man.
The OG fit kid.
Yeah, give me an hour. Every time I've met Jim Ross, he's been ornery because he's hungry. So, I mean, Tom caught him at the best time because he just ate. I think he would have been taking pictures of everybody.
oh boy.
Yeah. So Mox, Punk, Hangman, you name it. Like, let's kind of talk about this. What do you guys feel about the confrontation so far? The animosity coming in, Punk coming back finally.
Felt like there was urgency for the first time in the all-out booking. It felt urgent that there was something being built.
And then it didn't at the end of the
Well, so
show.
urgent they can't wait till all out. It has to happen next week.
I got a question to kind of pose.
Let's do it.
So,
Do you order a wrap from Tudors or do you order a biscuit?
do you order a wrap or do you get a biscuit from Tudors? No, so this is hearing this kind of maybe will kind of point to my answer, but kind of hearing Omega's return tonight. Who do you think is like the top guy in AEW? CM
feel
Punk
like it's
or
Punk.
Kenny Omega?
I still feel like it's Punk.
As far as a draw, it's got to be Punk. I mean, money
I
moving
feel like
type of
Kenny's
guy.
back in
It's
his
Punk.
yeah, Kenny's back in his like 2019 kind of circle right now. I feel like where he was just with the elite heavy. You know what I mean? That's what I feel like he is right now, at least.
You know what? I'm going to go strong here. I think Kenny Omega was always expected to come back. I don't think we've seen the best of Punk yet. We didn't expect Punk to come back when they did that Rampage a year ago, right here in Chicago, Illinois.
I was there, but I wasn't.
It was. You're welcome, pal.
Thanks, pal.
I cut probably like 700 angry fans for that T-shirt, but yeah, I think the best of CM Punk has not been seen yet, and I think that ankle injury was a fucking offset. We knew Kenny was out. Kenny's been wrestling for years. I think Punk is the draw. I think Bryan Danielson's the draw. I think a lot of the guys, don't throw the fire on me, but a lot of the ex-WWE guys are the bread and money makers for them. But I mean, Kenny Omega and the Bucks have done wonders. Cody Rhodes did wonders for this company before he left, and there's a lot of building into the bridge to make shit happen to get you to that destination. So I think they're all just little slats here, little parts of the project to make the full fucking destination happen. But I do think that Punk has a lot of leeway on his shoulders for being the best there, because he ditched out 7 years ago. This was what brought him home. This is what brought him back to the dance. This is everything. So we've seen a lot of good matches from him, but I think we're just scraping the surface off him. I think he's still warming up.
How much time does the guy need? He's been there for a year. I know he got hurt. You know,
best in the world. He gets a couple of years at least. Goddamn
it!
I
don't know. Look at the video game right now. Look at who's front and center. It's Punk. Everybody else is surrounding him like a little crest. And I know THQ and Ukes are making their own decision, but he is the guy. And I think the crossover is much bigger with Punk than Omega. If you're a wrestling fan, you know Omega.
Well, I agree with that. Yeah. Just listen to that reaction, and I know it was a surprise that Punk came out. But even like tonight, like when Punk came out, I think Omega got a way bigger pop. Technically, I know it was his return, but I mean, technically, this is Punk's return too. You know, in some way, because I mean, it was expected for Omega to come out, and I think he really, he had a huge reaction, and I think at some point, they need to point more to like someone like an Omega. Maybe not necessarily Omega, because I don't know how much he's got left in the tank. But Punk's doesn't have much either. So they're almost kind of in the same situation as WWE is. Got to find the next guy. And it can't be the next WWE guy.
They minimum have 20 years to retire and then not retire and then not retire. And then, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, no, they have 20 years. They're all going to retire on Jim Crockett Promotions. Then they're going to go to Puerto Rico and retire afterwards.
Well, Kenny's halfway there. He's wearing a shirt tonight, so he's doing a little risk.
Dude, it was a compression shirt at least, so it wasn't like he's t-shirt wrestler.
I think Kenny's got more time than Punk does. Easily.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I would say
I'm saying like 5-10 years more than Punk does. I think Punk's on a really, really short leash right now.
Yeah, I think he's got 2 or 3 years left.
But that's why I think Tony's making the decisions he's making. You have to do your Punk shit now, or else you're going to be fucked. You're not going to have that big oomph to fall back on. And we've seen it, you go crowd surfing once, you break your fucking leg. Yeah, you kind of put yourself in a hole, and careless, reckless, whatever you want to call it. But he's just being Punk regardless. But I think I mean as a name, yeah, he could be there forever. But as a wrestler, this is now or never. You have to do the Punk shit now. You have to do it absolutely in this first couple more years that we have left with him. Rest of it's going to just make its way to be what it is.
Yeah, agreed 100%. You need to do the Punk stuff immediately because, like you said, he's not on this. I mean, he's not going to be there for another 3-4 years. It's got to have the title reign. And is he the best wrestler on the roster right now? Absolutely not. We saw that. There's guys that can work better than him, but he's the biggest draw. He came to AEW to carry the company. You got to give him a chance to do so. He probably would have been champion going into All Out no matter what, even if he didn't get hurt. So now he's here. You got to put him out there and give us the best match. And if, Boney, you're right and it's MJF, I'm here for that. But if it's not going to be Moxley, I don't think a Hangman rematch is going to be the draw. I just think
I don't think so either.
Use your bullets now. Nothing's guaranteed. You have to do the matchups now. And there's no guarantee Punk and Mox are ever going to be 2 ships in a night, going to be on the biggest stage. You have to do it. It's a dream match. It really is.
In hindsight, though, Christian and Omega were not a draw either. That headlined the fucking pay-per-view last year.
What are we going to get are we going to get a Danielson and a Adam Cole level of debut?
Did we need it at All Out? I don't think we
No, we didn't need it. I'm just saying that kind of made the main event very, I don't know. It didn't.
It was interesting, but
it was the push-up, bro.
Yeah, it was like a here's this, but like wrestling wise, I think this would be Hangman's redemption to his title run, because it was very lackluster. It was really fucking nothing that we were expecting. I expected a lot out of Hangman, and it fell
think that's
flat
a
on its
booking,
face.
though.
Yeah, obviously, I'm not saying it's Hangman's fault. I'm
Yeah.
saying, in general, but this would be the time for Tony to be like, yeah, that's my fucking cowboy. You could put the belt on Hangman again. I would love to see Hangman be the first real 2-time champion. There
Do
you
you
go.
think it's possible though that maybe Punk was in Tony's ear and say, "Let me get this redemption of this match with Hangman. The first one didn't live up to my expectations. Can you please pivot and give me Hangman and All Out?"
I could see Punk doing
Does he
that
have
more
that
than
pull?
Tony doing that. And what a good
Oh,
place to do it in
absolutely as a
Chicago.
fool. Yeah.
You imagine how the crowds, this would set up a heel Punk in a heartbeat if he lost in Chicago and then
He
came
was
back
getting
and was like,
booed tonight in some of these promos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
look in his eyes and you will
a few
see
lines. Yeah,
he's the cult personality, man.
something's coming out of me, and it's.
I do like how they're leaning into heart and soul for Mox and dollars and cents for Punk. And heart and soul, ever I hear that, it reminds me of SummerSlam '97. But dollars and cents, like that is Punk. Like he's the guy, he's the money guy. We've heard it all the line. Tony Khan at the media scrum says all the things about how Punk's the biggest draw and like the highest rated segment, and blah blah blah. And Moxley is that guy. He's the heart and soul. And I think they both probably feel a little bit of that. That what's more important, a guy who's a legacy guy who's been there through the trenches, your pandemic champion, or the guy who's literally the reason why you're going to be getting another national television deal.
But
What's more
we're
important?
also we're ending that next week. Where does that go from there? You know what I mean? Like Mox is
It's gotta
great.
It's gotta be Hangman or it's gotta be either Hangman or MJF. One of the two.
I don't think MJF's coming back this soon. I think MJF.
I don't want to see it. I mean, I say that I don't want to see MJF in the title picture yet. Let that still marinate. Maybe the Full Gear or even Revolution.
I got the answer right here.
Oh,
It's not going to be MJF. It's going to be Max Tyler.
Max Tyler
with Piper.
with
Ready
Christian. That's with Christian.
This is a good transition though to the Kenny Omega return, because I think we've seen they're willing to have anticlimactic returns no matter the build. And I think, and I'm going to say it first, I mean, the Kenny Omega return to me is not the way I would have done it. Was it the worst thing ever? Absolutely not.
No.
It's not the way I would have done it. In my opinion, I wanted that Triple H 2002 MSG moment, him coming out, cutting a promo. If he wasn't ready to work, why are you making him return based on the timeline of Trios Championships? He doesn't need to be wearing a shirt. He looked like a shell of himself. And even if it was a work thing, like they're going to work him, like they want to make him look vulnerable, that's not the Kenny I want to see return. I want to see him hit all the moves, hit the V triggers. He even couldn't hit the one-winged angel the way he usually hits it. If he's not ready to go 100%, I don't want him in the ring just because the trios titles are here. Fuck it. Like put him.
I'm telling you right now, the reason you knew it was a work was when he ran back to the ropes and then he grabbed his knee and went down for a second. And he was like, oh no, I don't know if I'm going to be able to jump over the top rope. Oh, flip over the top rope. Like he's definitely working. He's slowly building into it. Not that it's the nice thing to do or the right thing to do, but this is how he wants to be back. I don't know, man. AEW is notorious for, like, I'll say it right now, that All Out last year looked like a shit show, but the event was one of the best pay-per-views of all time, right? It really was. Like you got the cage match, the Bucks. I mean, Hawk's shitting on him, saying AEW's been stale. I don't think they've been stale. I think All Out was such a high precedent that the other pay-per-views fell behind because it was so good. But I mean, this is my problem is with AEW right now is their build to these shows. I mean, I'll talk about it all fucking day long. I don't want to buy a $300 fucking 19th row seat for a show, not knowing what the fucking build is. Be it Kenny Omega's back or not. I don't care if we're going to see Kenny in the Bucks versus undisputed elite era motherfuckers. It's nothing for me, man. I want legit good storytelling on the line a month ahead of time. This is too short. Tickets go on sale for the show. You should have at least 2 matches scheduled for the card. Don't fucking wait around like this shit. It just drives me nuts because you're as a fan, I'm not buying a ticket to FanFest. I'm not buying a ticket to the show. I'm not fucking going to Wednesday's Dynamite. I'm not going to Rampage unless I know what the fuck I'm buying a ticket for, besides AEW in general. And I think that's the thing. I think AEW is the main event, and the talent falls afterwards as opposed to the talent being the main event.
It's a very Vince way of booking it. Like Vince was always like, "Oh, it's WrestleMania, pal. Come watch it." That's what we've been yelling at. Like, feature more talent. Like, that's what we're here to see wrestlers.
I just want direction. I don't care about who they're featuring. It could be
that's what I mean
for
a feature storyline.
God damn, it could be anything. Like that Brody Lee or Brody King in fucking Darby match could have happened on the pay-per-view.
That would have been
did
badass.
Not need to waste it on Shark Week. Fucking, you know what I mean? It's just it's too much. Yeah, it's Hawk's driving from Memphis. This thing, he's a Hawk. I hope you enjoy the show. I just
hopefully you don't break down, pal.
Yeah, right. I hope your new car works out.
Or I hope you do break down one or two.
But I mean, so I mean, regardless, we got Kenny Omega's back. Where does Kenny go from here besides the Trio Championship? Is Kenny going to become the belt collector again? Is Kenny going to be? Is he going for the TNT title? Is he going for the championship? Is he going to fight Punk at fucking Full Gear? What do we do? I don't want Kenny Omega in a compression shirt going after a big name title. I don't want Kenny Omega in a compression shirt winning the fucking Trios titles for the first time.
He looks like me trying to go into a swimming pool with his compression shirt.
I completely agree. I think if they were tying his comeback, which it seems, I think everything Tony said in every media scrum, every interview that will listen to him, he said that Kenny will be coming back. Well, the Trios titles are going to be coming back when Kenny's ready because he wants the Elite going for the titles. And it feels like they introduced it. Maybe Kenny had a setback. We've heard all the interviews. It was rumored that he may have to retire, all the injuries, and he deserved the time off. He beat his body to shit. He was absolutely beat up, unable to work. If he's not completely healthy, why not have do a promo? We've had weeks go by where Bryan Danielson doesn't work for 5-6 weeks in a row. Have Kenny just cut a promo tonight, come back, not work, have somebody else with the Bucks, or just have the Bucks lose and just pivot the plans and have House of Black win the tournament, or have also the Death Triangle win the tournament. You could have pivoted somewhere else. Like, I don't need Kenny coming back at 35%, 45% just to have the Trios title storyline when it's not going to be complete. It's not what I want to see. And I was feeling a little bit underwhelmed with Kenny's performance tonight. I know some of it was being worked, but I want Superman Kenny. That's what I want to see.
But you know what I think? I don't think the Trios titles need the Bucks and Omega. I think the Bucks should have been working against FTR. I think House of Black should have been the inaugural fucking Trios titles. I hate being like this because I love Adam Cole. I love fucking Fish. I love.
Well, they're not in the tournament either. They're not going to be in the tournament. The Undisputed.
Oh, good. Fuck
yeah.
Which doesn't make sense. Why do the heel turn?
No, Undisputed Elite.
Undisputed Elite.
So, but what I'm saying is like,
whatever.
Why build all these teams if you're not going to showcase them? The Bucks and Omega could have came back and challenged Punk. Crowd goes wild. That would have been the WrestleMania moment, right? We've been dying to see something like that. Why do we got to put?
Think you're special?
Yeah, you do. No, but why do we have to put fucking the Bucks? Why do they have to be every inaugural champion? Why do they have to be the guy? Why do they have to be the people up front? Why can't Omega chase the main title? Why can't the Bucks chase FTR and go for the fucking AAA titles and make that a pay-per-view match? I don't give a fuck about the
have them come back and have Omega and Adam Cole face off. Like, why can't
even
that?
Be the match?
Right. Save the match for, like you said, Full Gear in November. Like, I don't care if Kenny doesn't come back until a year, until months. Have him on TV. Cut promos. Do your thing.
It's just weird, you know.
I don't want to see compression shirt Kenny. I think that's the hashtag. Compression shirt Kenny. I don't want to see it.
Don Callis comes out, doesn't say a fucking word tonight. I want
it was weird.
I want fucking Don Callis shitting all over everybody. Fuck Kenny Omega. Fuck the Bucks. They're a bunch of losers. It's like
where's Cyrus the Virus?
I want my Don Callis back. Who the fuck is Virgil? I want the Kenny we had. I don't want a new Kenny. I want the belt collector Kenny back. I want him to be like, fuck you, I'm going for everything again. Like I want that promo. I want that. I have the fire in my soul to be the best champion in the world because I'm Kenny Omega. I am the best wrestler in the world. Not, hey, we're coming back. Let's do the trios titles, guys.
What's happening here?
Yeah.
Hey.
I'm a Kenny Omega. I got the Yoshi and the Luigi here. We're gonna get the title.
Yeah, I just don't get why you have to rush him back to be active if he's clearly not ready. And if he is ready and they're working us, whatever, I'm still mad about it because I don't want this Kenny to be what people recognize. Because for someone, this is the first time they're watching AEW, and this is the first Kenny Omega exposure they've had. And this may be the Kenny Omega they see, and they may turn it off. Like, what the hell is this guy you guys been hyping up? He's botching spots. He's wearing a shirt. What is this? Is he heel? Is he face? Like, we don't know what's going on with him. And again, freedom to book different ways. It doesn't have to be done the same way. Like I mentioned, Triple H in 02 at MSG. His return was epic. All you have to do is hit that music, walk out, cut a promo, or even have Callis cut the promo for him and say, I'm back. I'm looking for the championships. And that in itself is a moment. The trios titles go away.
Every kid's gonna want a compression shirt.
I want Kenny to come out in his Canadian tuxedo, jean jacket,
Absolutely.
jeans.
No. Yeah, well,
jean
yeah,
vest.
exactly. The double with the sweatshirt underneath and
the jean, denim.
Yeah, denim. I just want. If you don't think Kenny was not ready to come back, you got to be a little naive. Of course, he's ready to come back. I don't think anybody is getting in their AEW ring without a full good bill of health. I don't think Khan would let it. I don't, even if you're Cody, the Bucks, fucking.
he was working. Apparently, the room was spinning. Like the arenas were spinning with vertigo. So I don't know if
vertigo doesn't last forever, though.
Yeah,
it does go away.
I do want to get an
know.
update on it, like if he's still suffering.
Tell that to Jeff Hardy.
We have King of Hueco Mundo in here. Thank you for joining us in here. He said Kenny and the Bucks have a storyline versus Adam Cole and Undisputed Elite. Amigos, same as FTR, not bring involved because FTR has been in Mexico defending AAA tag belts. They haven't really been there at all. They've been in. Dax is hurt with the torn labrum right now. So
yeah, well, I mean, they did the last AAA pay per view. FTR barely works AAA. They show up for the big shows,
Yeah, Dax is out of commission right now, and I think this will be the first show he's working since Death Before Dishonor. So
yeah,
but there's a lot on FTR's plate, and again, another example of an act that's the hottest thing in wrestling right now, and you're not expediting it. Like, why are we having them wrestle Sanjay Dutt, Jay Lethal, and Satnam Singh?
Because they're trying to get Satnam Singh over.
God,
it's
like getting a mid card Great Khali over.
All right, well, let's talk about something good. Let's talk about that match between Bryan Danielson and Daniel Garcia. Who wants to lead the way in that? Because I thought this match was great.
I'm just gonna say best thing all night. It was fantastic. Yeah. Obviously, we're all happy to see Bryan Danielson back. Daniel Garcia looked great. I love the confrontation at the end of it between Garcia and Jericho. Thought it was fucking well beyond called for. Really good. Jericho played it off very well. He can give. I love how they went 1-1 on the fucking draw, and then they went to Danielson just fucking getting the win.
What a dumbass!
Yeah. Jerry Garcia is overrated.
I know.
But yeah, no, I thought it was a great match. I thought this was the highlight of the show, even overshadowing Kenny Omega. And weird that they would do such a thing. You know what I mean? Like, why would you put a 2 out of 3 falls match with Danielson and then put Omega coming on last in a trios match? It's just weird. Uncomfortable booking.
This match was awesome. And Daniel Garcia, even though in a losing effort, he looked like $1 million. And I knew that Bryan Danielson was going to win with the LaBelle lock. Rest in peace, Gene LaBelle, who just passed away a couple days ago. So the master of that hold, a lot of different holds. He has a book that's out. So back in the 80s, before the internet existed, he had a book that wrestlers used to look at thousands of submission holds, not just for pro wrestling, but for other martial arts.
Bar.
So
yeah, Dean Malenko, big fan.
Dean Malenko has that book memorized in the back of his brain. So, but yeah, he used the LaBelle lock, and nicely done by Bryan Danielson. But he made Daniel Garcia made Bryan Danielson pass out again, which is the biggest nod of honor. Like, this guy is walking into whatever the program he is with the biggest rub that anyone's gotten from main event talent. Like, Kenny Omega couldn't beat Bryan Danielson. If we remember that 30-minute draw. So like there is precedent set that Daniel Garcia is sort of a made man. They have to keep this going.
So my question is, as a hardcore fan, right? We know Danielson's got all this trauma to his head, concussions and all that shit. Why do we got to make him pass out on TV?
I think that's
it's a little uncomfortable.
I think that's how he likes to make the matches go, because he likes to blur the realism. I remember that Lesnar match at Survivor Series all those years ago, where they murdered him on screen, and he came back, did his flurry, and then just barely lost. I was seriously worried for his health. They're like, he was landing right on his neck and on the back of his head. So
yeah, no, like
he's
kudos to him for going for it. He's the real murder papa of our generation, right? He's the Suzuki of our time. But it's weird. I love the match. I thought everything looked great. Danielson goes so fucking hard, man. It's scary to a point, man. But yeah, I think Garcia is the main eventer now. I think Garcia really proved himself tonight. But god damn, Danielson, chill.
Do you do the double switch, have him join Blackpool Combat Club and maybe give someone else over to JAS, or do you leave him as JAS? I kind of think the JAS thing has helped him out more than because Wheeler right now, talk about someone being cooled off. He's been buried underneath. Like no one's talking about Wheeler.
Ring of Honor champion, Ring of Honor pure champion, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
he is right now.
He's waiting for his platform.
What's Ring of Honor?
Huh?
Yeah.
What's Ring of Honor?
They have this code. They shake hands at the urinal. No, it's
with Honky Tonk Man.
No, that was me. Hi, Bubba. You won't see my dick. It was like, what? No, I think Garcia's in a good spot. I think Wheeler Yuta is just waiting for that place to be Wheeler Yuta. I think that's the problem with this Ring of Honor thing. They need to start moving faster because it's dragging so much that it's like, okay, we got what, 2 pay-per-views under the belt, still no announcement on a show, no YouTube. I think me and Ace have talked about this before. Turn Dark into a Ring of Honor show. Turn Dark Elevation into a fucking
darks,
Ring of Honor
like
show.
make Elevation or Dark the Ring of Honor. Like, come on.
Yeah.
No, I mean, do something to give it a little bit more oomph. The last 2 pay-per-views were phenomenal. Both put out matches of the year quality type shit, but it only goes so far if you're just running pay-per-views. We need more. We need a little bit fucking more. Give us some context to it. I think it hurts the overall value of a Samoa Joe or a Wheeler Yuta and FTR. Like, you guys aren't doing shit. You got, sure, you're holding belts. The belts of what? A tri-monthly pay-per-view. Like,
I know everybody's watching Flashback Friday on Fridays here at the Tavern, but if you watch Rampage on delay, the Bryan Danielson interview that was done on Rampage was very, very good. And with Garcia, the interaction between the two of them kind of set the stage for this match, and it really emphasized the fact that Garcia is going through this internal struggle. So, he's being faced with a dilemma. Are you a technical wrestler? Or are you a submission sports entertainer? And that's the way that Danielson put it. And I like this because Garcia's torn of who he is. I think putting him in the JAS was exactly against who he is. If you watch Garcia on the indies, he is the next coming of Bryan Danielson as far as technical wrestler. He is a wrestler. So when he was first put there, it's like it doesn't fit. But then you put the Kangol hat on him, you put some chains on him, make him be a sports entertainer. It kind of fits, and I like what they've done. And I hated the JAS thing, but I'm here for that now. I actually think it's been great. So I love to be proven wrong.
I thought it was all good fun.
Date Dan, nice to meet me.
Yeah. No, I think Jericho really knows what the fuck he's doing when he does shit like this.
Yeah.
This. I mean, who gave a fuck about Danny Magic until the Jericho Appreciation Society? Like, he was great, yeah, right. But really, really fills out the character here. Same thing with Garcia. Same thing with. I mean, even Jericho himself has filled out more. Even though he lost so much weight, he's still plump and full of talent, man. It's just, I don't know, man. It's weird. I think they gotta wiggle around it. It's good. They got a lot of shit to do, but I'm here for it. I thought Daniel Garcia looked like $1 million tonight. God damn it. So did Daniel Bryan Danielson.
One little thing I like at the end when the crowd was chanting is "You're a wrestler."
It was awesome.
Whenever Daniel Bryan, he pointed to him, he goes, "Do you hear him? Do you hear him?" Like trying to tell him, like, "Hey, wake the fuck up." So I thought that was kind of cool, you know.
That's
like-
some like movie shit, dude. That's cinema.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like,
Kevin
holy
Owens
shit,
and
like-
Drew McIntyre were in the crowd going, "We're wrestlers. We fucking wrestle
in the wrestling ring,
Yeah,
wrestling ring, in a 5x5 wrestling ring.
with spinach."
And that moniker that Garcia is going to have, I think he's going to be known as the Dragon Slayer for now
I
on.
love
That's
it.
going to be his
I
nick,
thought-
and I think it's awesome. And the Game of Thrones thing was so overdone tonight, and I know they shove it down your throat because that's the sponsor.
Yeah.
But this Dragon Slayer thing really fits, and that's a moniker he can go by for the rest of his career and have Danielson to thank for, because Danielson just doesn't give that stuff away. Giving back to the business has to be earned, and I think Daniel Garcia is recognized as the future of wrestling. Wheeler Yuta as well. So I feel like when they wrestled each other at Ring of Honor, at Death Before Dishonor, it felt special, and like they could potentially be in 5-10 years the guys. It feels like it's not even just hyperbole. They could be the guys in AEW. We talk about young talent; they have it right there.
Absolutely. Best thing to come out of a shitty crossover too was the Dragon Slayer moniker.
American Dragon. We had Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. You had the Dragon Slayer.
We didn't even talk about Ricky the Steamboat.
Yeah,
that was
I mean,
amazing.
shit.
I love that. I popped.
Dragon Fujinami was out there.
I love that he did a little thing with Angelo Parker. You know, just fucking chops
Yeah.
around with it, kills Angelo Parker. Very funny. Loved it.
Yeah, and we also didn't mention that Dragon Balls.
God, I was about
was
to say
there.
that. I was about to say that.
I love
Dragon
Dragon
D's
Balls all over this arena. No.
But that's what Hawk typically does. He's
Hawk gonna be there, so Tom had to fill in for the shoes.
He's dragging these nuts.
Yeah, I'm dragging all these nuts all over the place. And by the way, I'm Tom from Fig Night. Like,
see ya, bike.
yeah,
exactly. And at least we made it an hour 20, and it's not about 25 minutes of Fig Night. We and the end the broadcast.
Fuck. Man, yeah, we're not going to talk about that. my figure is still sitting next to me, ready to be unboxed.
That's his second time. He did that during what was it, the Hell in a Cell watch along. So
yeah, which is even. I mean, a watch along's worse. At least me and Nick had a great show before. We got.
It's like he started the show. He was like, "I want to end broadcast now."
Yeah,
yeah. It was a time, but I also want to bring up Tony Nese coming out. I was like, okay, we're getting a Tony Nese match.
Boney
and then
Nese.
out of nowhere, Boney Nese, and then out of nowhere, Jonathan Moxley fucking beats up Tony Nese, and he's like, "Punk, get your ass down here," just to play off of the thing they can't. Like keep away from each other, which I thought was great. Even the opening segment, I didn't realize how much I missed seeing Punk weekly and him having like an in-ring segment weekly on TV.
Yeah, it was good.
It just was so fun to watch, and him doing like Snow Angels in the ring, singing Groove. Yeah. Just dude, it was just a lot of fun, and I was enjoying it a ton. And then who knows what's gonna happen? I don't know if the match is gonna go through next week. If that's the end of that, I have no clue.
Listen,
if it doesn't go
you gotta
through,
put over
AEW would be false advertising. They're not known for that. That's a WWE thing. That's something that Tony Khan has said. We don't want to false advertise. So people that are buying tickets to Cleveland, you talk about buying tickets to shows. If you say you're going to deliver that match, you kind of have to deliver it now.
Yeah, I'm guessing you're going to get the match and a call out afterwards, probably from Hangman. When does Dark Order wrestle? Did they do that already with the trios match?
No, their first match isn't yet. So I think it's
next
going
week?
to be it's got to be on Rampage because the semifinals are
at All Out, right?
The week before All Out.
Yeah. So I mean, they have to
Probably
wrestle.
Rampage.
So maybe Dark Order loses, and then Hangman. You know, you're going to get Punk wins that fucking belt, big celebration. And then you're going to hear the
Oh yeah.
I'm Hangman Adam Page, motherfucker. I'm ready for it. It's crazy.
I'm not ready for it.
It'll be better than anything else. I don't know what else we can get.
Moxley,
they're getting that next week. That's done.
I know.
Just put it down. What else can you get out of it? I mean,
MJF.
Where else are we going?
MJF. It's got to be
Why?
MJF.
Why? You fucking marks! I don't want to wrestle this
Hold on.
Phil
Hold
Brooks.
on.
This fucking mark. Like,
You know, it's about time this industry got a facelift.
yeah, and it's gonna be MJF. I don't know.
Well, but I didn't want to see it either. But
I would love.
I feel like they forced their hand.
Give me this. Give me Hangman, Punk it all out, and then you get this.
You fucking mark! Fire me! Fire me!
at the very end of All Out. You're going to get that at the very end of All Out. People are be like, take their shirts off. Woo! Max is back.
Max Tyler.
Yeah, Max
go to
Tyler
the
and Piper are
timeline
coming out.
The timeline of Pillman, enough time has passed at this point for the work and the shoot. We're watching WCW right now, and again, we're living in real time. Friday Shot Nostalgia, guys, episode 18. We're talking about Hog Wild this weekend from Sturgis. They have they expedite. We wax poetic about the booking and the slow burn of the Attitude Era and the Monday Night Wars. It happens pretty goddamn quick. Things are really moving and shaking. We're about to get the fourth member of the NWO. Things are moving at a very rapid pace. So my point is MJF's been gone since May. It's been a lot of time has passed. So I think if this is indeed a work, and I think we can all agree, I think we've kind of had that discussion out. It is a work. It's time to bring him back. And we need to have a big plan for him, because what's the payoff? What is the payoff aside from ruining Wardlow's momentum? What has been the payoff of this?
I guarantee you the payoff is going to be the same place he beat CM Punk last time. It was Chicago. The same place he's going to fuck Punk's moment up is going to be Chicago.
Fuck Punk.
And then Hangman
He's
gets
going to fuck Punk.
All right. I mean, I can get behind that. And if that's what it is at the end.
The moment he fucks Punk.
Because you can make the argument that MJF come back at All Out is on par with any other return they could have, whether it be debut or not at All Out. It's the biggest thing you can do. So maybe they're going to release the hounds, as Jericho would say. So
I think it's better than Omega's return. I think people are clamoring for MJF to come back. Like I said, Omega, everybody expected to come back.
The TV desperately needs MJF.
Has anyone ever come back in such an anticlimactic way where, like, I guess he was a mystery partner, but he's just all of a sudden part of the wheel again? It wasn't this big.
You know what I hated?
Gone for 7 months. Like it's been a while.
I hated Justin Roberts pulling out the piece of paper like this. And then going, from North Carolina, it's Kenny Omega. It was just like, we got it. Like we totally fucking understood what
We got it, dude.
we got it, man. Like
It was the worst kept secret, but imagine they can't. That's how they debuted Punk. And I'm not saying it's on the same scale, but imagine that's how they debuted Punk. He comes out in a compression shirt and wrestles in a tag match.
I pop for it.
It's just have him come out, cut a promo, and Kenny Omega's on that level where he can come out and get a whole segment to himself.
Let's just go with this. Compression shirt is the same thing as Long Boys. Nobody liked when Punk came out with Long Boys.
No way. I mean, it feels like you're a shirt wrestler. Go back into the archives of the Tavern flagship. They talk about shirt wrestlers. Once you become a shirt wrestler, you got to hang it up. And I think Kenny Omega is like, he's got a body underneath. What are we wearing?
Everyone an apology. You owe me an apology.
He's wearing the shirt right there. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Sorry to cut you off.
We're all wearing shirts right
No, you
now.
had
I don't
to.
know if you guys don't want to believe it or not, but we're all wearing shirts right now.
I mean, I'll take mine off, but I don't think
I'll
anybody's
take mine
gonna tune in
off.
for ratings for
I'll
it.
take mine off.
It's gonna go. It's
we
gonna
get
way
old
down.
Bert crashing here. What's happening?
Hawk's gonna make like 10 accounts to subscribe to the Tavern after we take our shirts off. It's like, what? Men's volleyball? I'm down. Let me put my knee pads on.
Hawk doesn't know how to make an account, so
Yeah. J-Bone's gonna make
Comments
Hawk
read
10
like that of a jaded lover here in the chat. It's just like
Listen,
very angry.
I love
late night text.
Story, baby. I mean, you read me one every night before bedtime. What are you talking about? And then you give me the little kiss on the cheek. It's my favorite. It's the Hawk. Why you guys say I hate Story?
MJF last made an appearance the Wednesday after Double or Nothing. I guess that was technically in the beginning of June. He's been gone since Double or Nothing build.
He blew off the Fan Fest for Double or Nothing. You knew the seeds were planted for MJF being a fucking cocksucker, which is what he wants you to be. Well, am I wrong?
Again, we
It's not a
got
bad
King
thing.
of Hueco Mundo. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. We have a whole bunch of shows 7 days a week here, 6 days a week to be fair, but who's counting? Wardlow's one talent the crowd will never get tired of or forget the guy's way over. So you can't go wrong. Same with MJF when he returns, the crowd is going to go batshit crazy. Agreed. I mean, Wardlow right now, he's sort of on the back burner. There's been a lot of guys you had heated up, tossed on the back burner. There's some sternos underneath them, hopefully keeping them warm, and you bring them back out to the fire and heat them up quick. And teaming with FTR is certainly a good place to start to keep someone getting them hot. But yeah, I mean, it's eventually shit or get off the pot. Like pull the trigger on some of these guys and keep them. Ricky Starks, Wardlow, These guys have to be expedited. Like, what's the plan next? Daniel Garcia, what's next? What's after this?
Do we need to fill the whole last 30 minutes of me talking about how fucking missed opportunity Ricky Starks? I don't think that's a good idea. Well, we can go to it if you want to, but that
I agree.
heel
You
turn,
weren't here to talk about it. It was upsetting.
man.
That promo you cut, the News to a Tie promo was all time.
Amazing.
And then he comes out.
Great shit. Then you have him fucking go down to Will Hobbs. He should have turned on Will Hobbs, not Will Hobbs turning on Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks should be the fucking guy right now, and I mean that. He's better than fucking half the roster, if not fucking 75% of it.
He lost
that
the
was
FTW
the great
title to feud with QT Marshall. Like what?
Oh, hold on.
What's going on?
Don't throw Hook into the business. Okay, Hook deserves that FTW title. Ricky Starks is above the FTW title.
I saw Q2 Marshall on Cobb's Place last week when I was in Marietta, Georgia, begging for change.
Yeah, exactly. I thought you actually saw him for a second because he is a local in Atlanta. So
and he also begs for change a lot. Listen, you talk about fucking missing the ball on anybody who's young, up and coming talent. That motherfucker should be strapped with a Tesla SpaceX rocket to his back where it's gonna fucking land on its feet. That guy's so goddamn good. And he
should be the rocket.
He is the Rock. He should be everything.
He's everything.
That promo was amazing. Even him getting turned on by Will Hobbs made you feel something so hard. You're like, God damn, dude, don't fuck this up. And
that's the kind of shit that AEW does so good is those little moments. Powerhouse Hobbs turning on, you're like, oh shit, I didn't see that coming out of nowhere. And then they fucking drop the ball.
Yeah.
To do what? To play 10 weeks with Hangman and Punk and maybe Moxley. Well, I don't know. We don't know what the main event is. They don't know what the main event is now. I'm getting half hot right now.
You can get hot. It's okay. But I'm just saying, I think that I would rather see Ricky Starks in like a very high prominent position than seeing Hangman or Mox go for the title.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, I think Mox was great with the fucking Blackpool Combat Club. He did not need to go for the title. They didn't need to make him interim. They should have given back to Hangman, right? If you're gonna go in this direction anyway, if Punk wins next week, like why was Mox there? What did Mox do for the company? Nothing. He's I'm coming here. I'm sober now. I'm gonna fucking drink these non-alcoholic brews, kiss Effie on the fucking mouth like a bitch he is, and
awesome.
And then go kiss my wife.
It was great. Yeah, and then go kiss my. It was an awesome moment. But I think Mox plays that great role of being the GCW guy and the Blackpool Combat guy. He did not need to be the champion if we're going to take it off him this soon.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna withhold judgment until it's all said and done. Like the Kenny stuff.
Yeah.
Moxley,
I'm
Punk
just
stuff.
talking to talk.
No, 100%. But I know we're all being, it's not negative,
I love Daddy Khan. Daddy Khan could come over. I'm gonna give him hugs.
We're all just kind of a little bit frustrated with the booking. We have our favorites and all that, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's good wrestling conversation. I think AEW at this point, every pay-per-view they've ever had has delivered. I think I've left very entertained after every pay-per-view.
Yes.
So I'm fully expecting that. I'm going to be live in Chicago. Myself and Mike BELCASTER are going to be there taking it all out. So I'm excited for the show.
Double or nothing for me was a head scratcher, but I'm just tired of right now. I'm just tired of like, wait and see what they're gonna do. Just wait and see. I'm tired of that game. Just wait and see what they're gonna do because all they're gonna do is stretch it out further along on something else.
Bro, but that pay-per-view gonna be banging.
Yeah,
it's gonna be banging. You know. But I get you. I feel it. I understand your frustrations. I understand where you're coming from. But they also really do deliver on those pay-per-views, though.
They do.
I mean, even Double or Nothing. I walked into Double or Nothing thinking it was going to be a head scratcher, much like you. But I really enjoyed the shit out of the show, and I really enjoyed the shit out of.
I still was scratching my head.
Yeah, I did though. I liked it. I thought it was fun.
But then they picked it back up with Forbidden Door. They booked that thing so great. Forbidden Door is so fun.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's the thing. They deliver on the pay-per-views. The build for Forbidden Door was shit. They didn't have anything going to that.
It was way better than this. Way better than this.
But that was the week of, like
they didn't have a whole lot of time.
No, the 2 weeks before Forbidden Doors where shit picked up, and that's where AEW does excel is those 2 weeks before the pay-per-view. But that's my whole point. This whole show is like, give me a fucking month to appreciate the anticipation and build up before you're just like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this, this, and this. And like,
we've seen they're capable of this long-term booking. They did it with MJF and Punk. They did it with Hangman and Kenny Omega. That Kenny Omega story with Hangman was beautifully done throughout. Weaving in being the elite, weaving in their past, everything about it was well done. So they've shown they can have long-term storytelling. I understand you can't do it like that at all times. I understand that. It's not possible. You have to have programs that are 3 months long, 2 months long, just to put a match on the card. Yeah. At the same time, like you're saying, you have 4 tentpole events intertwined with, the special events, Fighter Fest, Beach Break,
absolutely,
the Battle of the Belts. Those should be helped as
Shark
little
Week,
Shark Week benchmarks where you can
House of Dragons.
You have these spots where you can sort of as checkpoints. But I think what you should always be doing is Double or Nothing ends. What's for All Out? You should plant the seeds the night after. And if the MJF stuff comes to fruition, they planted the goddamn seeds.
Yeah.
But right now, we're looking at this empty garden like nothing's been growing. We're like, all right, let's get going. We need to see the plants a little bit.
If the MJF thing doesn't come to fruition in the next 2 weeks or at the pay-per-view, that's a missed opportunity.
Missed. Yeah. It's enough's enough. It's time for a change.
Nick Storm, what do you think of MJF?
I think that's a missed opportunity, and then the Miz comes out. Boom.
The Miz.
With Logan Paul.
Forbidden Door. They just switched Miz.
Yeah.
And MJF.
and Tommaso Ciampa.
The Miz is going to come out with a fucking
and Damian Sandow.
Yeah.
Miz is going to come out with the scarf on. What were you thinking? I'm here.
When my head goes up, your mouth goes shut.
Yeah, that only works on Maurice.
I have to say though, there's more. If you go back to the debate, I was saying it's probably 55% chance that MJF goes to WWE. I think it's even higher now because of the fact Triple H is the guy pulling the strings. Yeah, I said that back in the day. I just feel like he's more. They need a guy like him.
I think it's 50-50.
I think you're both fucking wrong.
In 2024. I thought Cody was less likely to go than ever because he was involved in the management. And since Cody left, anything's possible. I think the Bucks could go, Kenny can go. All these people, they're not off limits at any time. The relationship with Tony Khan is obviously very tentative. Like people don't have this close relationship that we think they've had with Tony Khan. It's not all buddy as we think.
Big Swole is different.
When you're the $1 million man, everybody has a price.
Yeah, you know what? I think here's my outlook on that. I think we're less likely to see MJF show up in WWE until he sees how Triple H book shit.
He'll have a full year to see though, so
No, I absolutely get that, but I think there's going to be
he's going to be at Cash of the Classel.
Cash of the Classel. That's what
Classel the Cash.
I'm a Classel. I love it.
Classel.
Yeah, no, you know what? I think his good friend Cody Roadster is going to be the only one that jumped ship for a while. I don't think we're going to see MJF in WWE.
We'll see. I mean, I don't know what I'm even rooting for at this point because I just want good television and
right.
I'm
all know
nostalgic for 1996. That's what I want in my 2022.
There's this great guy out there. His name's Road Dogg Jesse James, and he's got a great mind for the business. He said MJF wouldn't survive a minute in WWE. He said, "Oh, you didn't know?"
Why do you say that? Because he can't say shit?
Yeah, no, it's not me. It's Road Dogg. Road Dogg said it. It wasn't me. I'm just saying those were formal.
We don't have Road Dogg drops for some reason. I'm not sure why we don't have them.
Oh, you didn't know? No. I mean that'll be our call the Hawk.
This is our Road Dogg.
Oh, that's beautiful.
He's on the road right now.
I was just talking to my wife about that picture.
Way. He called me.
I thought he was coming in here to end the broadcast. I feel like he should have an honorary end the broadcast when we're ready to go.
He's too scared.
Yeah. I'll do it for you.
We just pop that photo up, and then Mike does a OG Fig Kid impression, and then we end.
Oh my goodness! So thank you guys. I just wanted to check in, say how hope everything's going good.
Have a
this
good
is
rest
great
of the show, and then
honestly, if you really want me to do it, I'll do it. I don't think we should do 2 shows this week ending like that.
We can't have the William Regal pulling the plug on Raw like from 2010 or whatever that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I want to see Don Callis versus William Regal
On the mic, yeah, it'd be amazing.
oh my god, can you imagine? You pissant, you're a fucking dumbass. Sign me up. It'd be great. Anything else? Let's go with some closing thoughts. What are you all feeling? I think it's almost time to wrap up.
I think we've talked AEW in circles right now, and I think I feel content with how we're going to leave it. I'm going to definitely sleep on the Kenny stuff, sleep on the main event stuff. But I mean, I like to, I'm happy to have you back, Belcaster J-Bone. It's been great having you on the wrap up. Nick, it's great to have you back. It's just been Tom and I the last couple of weeks, so it's been nice to have everybody back.
No way.
Man, this is exciting. No way.
No way. It's amazing. I'm so happy to be back. I don't have the bronchitis anymore. Dashy's doing good. We're all having a good time. I'm West Virginia treated me well. I got front row seats. You could see my head on the camera all the time. It was so good. I'm mad they cut me out of Judas, though. I'll tell you that right
now. He's hot about that. We got the picture in chats. He wants to be so badly in that.
He was screaming it too. He's like, I'm coming. Judas in my life. I love it. Yeah. Biggest Jericho fan ever.
Dude, I think this episode was one of my favorite in the past however long. I don't know. Maybe
it was solid.
It was a great episode.
Dynamites, but yeah, it was a solid. I don't know. My hair's going out to the side, but it was a good Dynamite. I thought. I thoroughly enjoyed it minute to minute. I thought even the Toni Storm KILYNN King match was pretty good. Like, I for what it was, I thought it was all right. So I thoroughly enjoyed everything. I love that Punk and Mox couldn't keep away from each other. The main event, Kenny Omega returning, you could hear it. Your dogs could hear it. People could hear it from South Africa. I was screaming so loud.
Goddamn, pal.
But yeah, dude, I enjoyed this a lot. What do you guys think overall about this Dynamite?
I thought it was
solid.
great.
I'm confused, but solid.
Yeah.
I mean, my perfect booking of a show is to have 45 minutes of a wrestling match to open the show, and it was sort of open. We had the Punk and the Moxley stuff open. But then we were led right into, it was about 45 minutes to 50 minutes of great wrestling between Daniel Garcia and Bryan Danielson. So some of my favorite Dynamite episodes, even Raw, are like really, they have the segments that have wrestling that fills the card where you're just, and I understand that there was a huge divide in how people felt about all this stuff, but at the same time,
shit. Well, wait, Tom, before you start talking.
That was Tom who said that.
Don't touch the computer screen.
I'm not.
Just hold on.
Hands off.
My
hands up.
In
hands
broadcast.
My hands are under my computer.
Oh boy, I don't want to know what you're doing.
Wow.
Anyway,
Let's see the hands.
I thought that this was a great episode of Dynamite. Not enough to fill up the pay-per-view, but good enough to get me until next week before they really fill up the pay-per-view. I thought it was fantastic, and Tom was there. Tom's like, I've totally got different opinion. It was great. I was in front row. It was amazing.
It was an amazing episode. I thought they did a great job tonight.
Tom, give me your breakdown right now.
What do you want to know? It was great.
To tell me how awesome it was.
Dude, it was amazing. I just posted to my